This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 5. Thus saith the Lord, Cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord. 6. For he shall be like the heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in a salt land, and not inhabited. 7. Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and whose hope the Lord is. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahushai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, who well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there, pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 5 through 7, is that I was going through a couple of current events articles today on the pension crisis that's happening globally. And what struck me is that this is a global pandemic. It's not just an isolated incident. This is hitting all over the world, and this is just proof that these people were led to believe that they were going to be given a certain percentage, and now it's been told to them that it's going to be cut. Those that want to be a civil servant, the interest rate is going to be a lot lower, and this is what happens when you trust in men, because who was promising these people this wonderful so-called pension benefits? The politician and the union reps. And so now it's coming out that throughout the globe, throughout the world, even including here in America, there's a pension crisis. And it's scary because these people are going to eat each other alive when the next financial crisis happens. And what you're already starting to see people attacking each other, civil unrest, uproars in France. All right? You have the citizens who are not civil servants in France. They're protesting, the yellow vesters, on how there's a hike in fuel taxation. They're protesting that minimum wage needs to increase. They're protesting that the super rich of France needs to be taxed more. And they've been doing that for a year and about 3 months. And then later on, you have the civil servants of France protesting about their pensions being cut. They're protesting how they're not being given what they were promised. And this is what happens when you trust in man, when you trust, in a politician. And that's why we tell our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans who are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, you must trust in the Lord. You must seek Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because if you trust in man, you're going to fail, man, miserably. If you trust in America, Babylon, if you trust wherever you're scattered at and you're receiving this message, if you trust in your job, in your country, you will fail, man. And these people are seeing it. That's why, hey, man, what's coming to America is going to be 10 times worse than what's happening in France. But let's get in. let's get into this article. It says their house is on fire, the pension crisis sweeping the world. The plunge in interest rates since the financial crisis is wreaking havoc on funds. Right. So the effects of '08 financial crisis is still having, okay, ramifications, is still exacerbating the pensions throughout the globe. Jan-Peter Jansen, a 77-year-old retiree from the Netherlands, had high hopes for worry-free retirement after having saved diligently into a pension during his working life. But Mr. Jansen, a former manager in the metal industry, has been forced to reappraise his plans after receiving notice that his retirement scheme, I like the word scheme because it is, all right? It is a scheme. One of the Netherlands' biggest industry sector funds plans to cut his pension by up to 10%, right? So the certain lifestyle he has is now he's going to have to change it because he's not going to receive that pension benefit that he was promised. It's now going to be cut by 10%. Understandably, the news has hit like a sledgehammer, right? Because you got to change your lifestyle. Jan-Peter Jansen, quote, "This is causing me a lot of stress." Mr. Jansen, who retired 17 years ago and hoped to use his pension pot to treat his grandchildren and afford good hotels on holidays. Sorry, no vacations. Hey, your grandchildren are screwed. "The cuts to my pension will mean thousands of euros less that I could spend on the family and the holidays we like. I'm very angry that this is happening after I saved for so long," right? Hey, cursed be the man that trusts in man. Mr. Jansen is not alone in experiencing pension pain. Tens of millions more pensioners and savers around the world are facing the same retirement insecurity as Mr. Jansen. As plunging interest rates since the financial crisis wreak havoc on the funding of schemes and average life expectancy increases, pensions have become a defining political issue in countries as diverse as Russia, Japan, and Brazil. Right, this is hitting globally. Upwards of the people. That's why people are protesting. Okay? Because they're not being promised. Okay? They're not being given what they were promised. Excuse me. Now let's go to America for all you civil servants that dwell here in America that watch our videos. Okay? All you federal employees, you state employees. Okay? So on and so forth. You're in a crisis, and your politicians are not telling you this, or your union reps. Okay? This is the elephant in the room. Check this out.
A pension is a promise.
These teachers are mad because their state wants to cut their retirement benefits. This conflict's about to hit most states.
But the problem is that the money hasn't been set aside for years and years and years.
City Journal contributing editor Daniel DeSalvo points out that unsustainable retirement promises now total trillions.
So, trillions. You heard what he said? It hasn't been set aside for years and years and years, meaning your politician has been lying to you, okay? Your union rep, the heads of your union have been lying to you, assuring you that the money is there and it's not, and it's a big crisis. Trillions. I saw one article, 5 trillion in unfunded pension liabilities, and mainly in the states of Illinois, New Jersey. All right? They're the worst states. Continue on.
Of dollars. But nobody cares.
Nobody was paying attention.
There's very little sense of urgency.
City Journal editor Steve Malanga struggles to get the media to pay attention.
To a certain extent, I have sympathy with the media because basically the media is looking for, like, what happens next, right? What's Trump going to say next, or what's he going to tweet next? This is not something that's going to happen next week or next month.
This is going to be a big deal. A lot of people are going to be hurt.
We just don't have enough money, and the amount of money that we have to put into this is just mountainous.
How did this happen?
Both parties, Democrats and Republicans, have incentives to short the pension fund. For Democrats, if we can not put as much in, we can free up more money for greater public spending on public programs that we think are good. If we're Republicans, we probably want to say cut taxes.
Both are much more popular in terms of getting reelected than putting money in a savings account.
You see, and that's why you have the problem over there in France, man. Those people believed the lies of the politicians, and now they're realizing that everything's being cut. Okay? And this is happening here in America. Okay? The people here are feeling it. And that's why protesting is going to be big. And the uproars of people are going to be big here in America. And what's going to be so different is that guns are going to be involved. All right? But this is what happens when you trust in a politician. Psalms 146 and the 3rd verse says, "Put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is no help." Right? And that's what we're telling our people. All right? Don't put your trust in this system. Don't put your trust in your job, because you can lose it the very next day, man. All right? Don't be believing these talking heads, these gurus that say, hey, this is what I did to become wealthy. All right? Because they're all liars. And the farther you go up, the more lies you have to spew out. 4. His breath goeth forth, he returneth to earth, and that very day his thoughts perish. Right, because whatever he said, all right, it's not going to matter when he dies. And that's what these politicians were saying. They were like, hey, I'm just going to tell them what they need to hear. By the time this happens, I'll be long out of the office, out of my place of duty. I'm going to be having a bunker, and I'm going to wait it out while they kill each other. 5. Happy is he that hath the Most High of Jacob for his help. Happy is he that hath the Most High of Jacob for his help, whose hope is in the Lord, his power. Right. And that's what's so beautiful about being a Hebrew Israelite. All right. From the descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the progenitor. Jacob's the progenitor of the 12 tribes, because, hey, if you believe in Yahweh B'Shem Shai, you seek the Lord, and you return to his law, statutes, and commandments, and you do what he told you to do, he's going to protect you from when all hell breaks loose. Okay? Because it doesn't matter what job you have, all right? It is not guaranteed that it's going to be forever. Okay? Now, let's go to another article. Because obviously, where are they going to get this money from? Where are they going to get this money from? Well, you got the unions, all right? They're going to have to, they're out there right now, right? Protesting and begging the government for money for their pensions and not to take away what they were promised. So what's happening? Well, who's gonna be affected? The taxpayer, all right? The average citizen who's not a civil servant. See, you see how everything affects one another? Let me get to the article right here. Check this out. This is from Fox Business. Most Americans can't afford an unexpected $1,000 expense, study finds. Right. Most Americans. So, hey, that didn't even include civil servants. All right, that are not receiving retirement pensions yet, but, they're still working. And then you have the average citizen who's not a public servant. He works for the private sector. And so people are already being stressed out. People already can't afford. And what's going to happen when the crisis hits? Hey, man, mass protests, mass chaos. Hey, this reminds me of Isaiah 19. Because the Lord put a perverse spirit in Egypt, man. Because, hey, what's happening in France is going to come to America, man. America is spiritual to Egypt. Isaiah 19 and 14. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Right, and these people are staggering their own vomit, man. All right, they thought that they were going to get that pension benefit, that good retirement, and now it's being taken away from them. And this is hitting globally. And it's hitting America, Babylon, also known as spiritual Egypt. And that's you dummies that dwell here in America, drunken on your own vomit, man. 15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do right. And there's been a lot of reports of businesses closing down, mainly the retail industry. A lot of reports. So, hey, how are these pensions supposed to be funded, folks? That's why it's going to be mass chaos here in Babylon, America. A lot of people are going to start killing each other.
Betcha.
5 years from now, 10 years from now, they're going to have a problem. But 10 years from now, somebody else is in office.
The retirees, they put in their share. Where's the city share?
They were.
And it's not going to be 5 years from now. The economy is going to collapse. Any day now, any month now, all right? It is going to collapse, all right? This is 2020 year prophecy. A lot of things have been happening on a global scale, all right? The financial state of China is literally perplexed, and that can have a ripple effect here in America. So not 5 years from now.
Promise this, and now you're 73 years old, and all of a sudden someone's going to say, well, your monthly income is going to fall by 10% or 50%.
They can't just stiff the retirees. They have a contract.
They can if they go into bankruptcy.
San Bernardino recently became the third California city to file bankruptcy.
Several California cities have declared bankruptcy. So did Detroit.
At some point, your debts are so great that you can't afford to provide basic services to people.
Police force, fire protection, all of these services will be on the chopping block.
Yep. Right? Yep. And you see that here in America. A lot of certain rural areas, there's less firefighters, less police. Okay? And hey, this is what happens, man. When you trust in when you trust in man, all right? When you believe in Esau, Edom, so-called white man, all right? And even their own people are at odds with each other, okay? Satan's house is divided, man. That's why what you have here, okay? You have Edomites protested too. Let me get that scripture. What is it? Mark 3, Satan's house is divided. So Mark 3. And yeah, Mark 3 and 23. And he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. Right. Hey, look at Brexit, man. They pulled out of European Union. All right. Let's see how the markets are in a couple of months, man. If they don't come up with a trade deal, hey, that can have global ramifications. All right. There's so many ways for this system to crash and people start killing each other. And that's a perfect time to push the RFID chip, the mark of the beast, man. Okay? 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. 25. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. 26. And if Satan rise against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. Right. And that proves that we're at end because even Esau, Edom, so-called white man, they're at odds with each other. All right? They're at each other's throats. Let me get another article. Look how people are stressed out. Look at this one. Nearly half of Americans say rising cost of living is the greatest threat to financial security. This came out 2 days ago. A day ago. So you're clearly seeing people are being pushed to the edge. And all it takes is one economic catastrophe and boom, bullets start flying, people start dying. All right, martial law. Is there any more on this? Let's continue on.
Justice! No! No justice, no peace.
The problem with our pension systems isn't the system.
Stephen Kreisberg of the biggest government workers union says unions didn't create this problem. Unions say, you may not cut our pensions. It's in the contract, we're entitled to this. Where's the money going to come from? Taxpayers? There isn't enough money in the world to pay your people.
Well, that's not true. There's plenty of money to pay our people.
This guy's a snake, man. A liar. Okay? The country's $23 trillion in debt. All right? I just showed you multiple articles. People are literally working paycheck to paycheck. But you see, they put these idiots in the forefront to deceive the simple. All right? To deceive these people, thinking, no, there is plenty of money. It's fake news. All right? Okay.
$1 trillion unfunded liability.
That's a figure that's used by some anti-pension zealots. As our president might call it, it's fake news.
If we apply
The pride in Esau, man. Really? Wow. Okay. Hey, everything that's happening in France is coming to America. All right?
standards that the federal government demands that private sector pensions use, this is the number we come up with, $5 trillion.
The money isn't there, and you guys won't budge an inch.
That's not true at all. I personally worked in the city of Detroit, where we budged many inches.
Let me be blunt. Detroit's broke.
When Detroit went bankrupt, unions did agree to reduce workers' benefits. Detroit's a case where the unions finally gave in.
Because the federal bankruptcy judge created a precedent that said pensions could actually be cut.
Right, and that's all it takes, the city to be bankrupt. All right, so nothing is safe. Nothing is safe. That's why we're telling our people, trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, stop trusting in the bag. Stop trusting in Esau's bullshit institutions. It's crumbling. They're crumbling. They're going down. That's enough on this video. Okay, I'll post it in if you want to watch it, but it's over. Proverbs 11 and 28. He that trusts in riches shall fall. Right, these people that were trusting in their riches and their retirement plan, their pension, they're falling, man. All right, they're bugged out of their mind. They're protesting. They're screaming. And guess what? They ain't going to get, nothing's going to change. It's only going to get worse. We're living at the end. 2020 year of prophecy. Psalms 9 for these. This is for you heathens, all right, that watch our video, okay? All you agents, all you scoffers and you monitors on YouTube. You need to worry about, okay, what's going on with your government? What's going on with the money? All right. But hey, guess what? It's beautiful because at the end of the day, you dug your own pit, man. Now you're gonna fall into it. Psalms 9 and 15. The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made. Right. This is your own demise. Okay. This is what happens when you trust in your leaders and you trust in these elites. All right, thinking that what they set up, okay, was going to prosper. And the net which they hid is their own foot taken, right? All right, because the only ones that are actually going to survive all this are the super elite, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts. All right, they're building their bunkers outside of America, all right, and on islands, okay. But you clowns that are dwelling here in America, believing in America, thinking that all we got to do is go out and vote. Hey, man, you're going to get caught out there, man. 6, the Lord is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is there in the work of his own hands. Right. And this is mainly talking to you Edomites, man. All right. Because you are the wicked. You're the one that set up this system, this institution. And now it's crumbling right before your very eyes by your own hands. Okay. All right. The pension deficit. Who did that? Y'all did that. You have no one to blame but yourselves. 17. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forgot the Most High. Right. To the grave, man. 18. For the needy shall not always be forgotten. The expectation of the poor shall not perish forever. Right. And our expectation is the Lord's going to deliver us out from this coming destruction. All right, because hey, once the economy collapses, is a lot of things are going to start moving. Okay, a lot of bodies are going to start dropping. Bullets are going to start flying. All right, they're going to have to implement martial law. RFID chips going to be pushed out. The mark of the beast. Okay, war is going to break out. Civil war. Okay, then you got the wars that's happening in the Middle East. It's going to be crazy. 19, arise, O Lord, let not man prevail. Let the heathen be judged in thy sight. Right, and that's what's going on. You heathens are being judged for what you've done to the children of Israel. You touched the apple of the Lord's eye, and for what you've done to the earth. You polluted it. All right, plastic in the water. Okay, I read a report that your factories are causing cancers. Okay, your smoke, all the smoke. All right, chemtrails in the air. So this is why you're going to get judged. 20, put them in fear, O Lord, that the nations may know themselves to be but men. Salah, exactly. And that's what it is. Okay? And that's why we here at Great Millstone, through the Spirit Power Yahweh Shem Shai, we see it, man. We see this place going down. You know, there's one more article that I saw too that I want to bring out. Massachusetts, man. The Boston Herald. There's another one. Massachusetts state pension debt liability at crisis level. This recently just came out. All right? And and look at the answer that they're telling the citizens of Massachusetts. Massachusetts has the highest per capita public debt burden in the nation, and it's a bill millennials will salary. This is the watchdogs say, right? Because you have certain people that are retired that are receiving $300,000 for pension. Okay, 2 pensions right here. Look, it says 2 pensions top $300,000 a year, meaning that's their retirement. And who's paying for it? The working citizens of Massachusetts. So that's why, man, this is a ticking time bomb, man. All right? And all it takes is one economic problem, one economic catastrophe, and it's going to be a ripple effect. Look how they put it. They put it onto the millennials. Millennials will need to address massive debt and these high pensions for years, and if the economy turns, they will have to do it quicker, said Paul Croney, spokesman to the Mass Fiscal Alliance. And he added, he's a 38-year-old millennial, right? This 38-year-old millennial is telling his millennials, hey, we have to worry about these Generation Xers and baby boomers retirement. That's why these millennials don't give a fuck about you, Generation Xers and baby boomers. All right? That's why they're complaining, they're upwards, and you see it, man. These millennials, you talk to them sideways, man, they'll punch you right in the fucking mouth. Because those that know what's going on know that you Generation Xers, you baby boomers, fuck them. All right? Hey, but this is what happens when you trust in the so-called white man, Esau Edom, all right? Starting with the elite, okay? Yeah, look at this. This is insanity. Says the 126,000 plus pension payout study by the Herald show former provosts, professors, prosecutors, teachers, social workers, toll collectors, and prison guards collecting hefty checks. 2 former UMass medical school officials topped the list, with both pulling down $347,000 and $348,000 a year in pension. The list goes on from there. Wow, top heavy. This is what the citizens of Massachusetts have to bear, man. They have to bear that debt, that burden, all right? Each taxpayers is owes $11,231, all right, to the pension. Okay? Hey, and doesn't your license plate say the spirit of America? Yeah, the spirit of America is debt. Hey, let's go to, that's enough on that. Just wanted to bring that out. Proverbs 27. So if you're a civil servant, don't think you're going to get your pension. All right. If you still got 10 years to go working for the city, the state, hey, even federal, you ain't getting your pension. It's going to be cut. All right. We ain't got 10 years. Proverbs 27-24. For riches are not forever, and doth the crown endure to every generation. Right. Riches are not forever. It's not forever, man. Okay. And we ain't got no 10 years in this place. This place is through it. And if you can't see it, hey, man, believe what you want to believe. At the end of the day, only the elect see it, and that's who we're here for, the elect. Ecclesiastes 9-12. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of man snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them. Right, and that's what's coming, man, that snare, that pit, man. Okay? You're going to lose it all. You're going to lose everything. You thinking you got it, everything figured out. You thinking you're okay with your retirement. Not going to happen. All right? That's why the scripture says it's better to have a name. A name. Yeah, what's it called? Proverbs 22:1. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. Right? It's better to have a good name. And where do you have a good name? Being in this truth. Pushing the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Not saying, hey, I want to go get the bag. I want to go build a community. No. All right? This is going to fail. And the Lord is going to judge those that didn't want to seek him in truth. All right? Also, what does the scripture said about labor not to be rich? Labor, one more. Scripture just came to my mind. Labor, where is it at? Here it is. Proverbs 23:4. Labor not to be rich, cease from thy own wisdom. Right. So you're supposed to be seeking Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and elect this. All right, but you could clearly see this place is on its way out, man. Heavy promises coming, all right, to the world, especially here in Babylon, America. So Lord wants to edify. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rukah Kodash. Double honors to the apostle, great millstone, who well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akhimah. They're pushing this truth to sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep it doing. Keep the faith. As you can see, we're almost out of here. These people are going to eat each other alive. All right. Second Esdras, the 6th chapter, start out the 22nd verse. All right, is coming. I'll read it. I had it up, but I'll read it. And I'll just end it on this. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be empty. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. Right. When businesses close, okay, retirement, pensions are cut. Hey, man, people are going to be afraid. At the time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. All right, you see that a lot in France, man. Police officers and firefighters beating each other up. And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Whoso remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world. Ka'ahau Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and Abba Babal. Shalom.